It's time now for our Common Ground segment. Joining me tonight, two senators just back from a bipartisan trip to Israel, Delaware Democrat Chris Coons and South Dakota Republican John Thune. Senators, thanks for being here. First, I want to get your overview of that trip. Senator Coons, first to you, what you took away from it, and obviously this point that we're in this war.
Well, Bret, thank you. I was grateful for the chance to travel with Senator Thune and with 8 others, very senior members of the Appropriations, the Armed Services, the Foreign Relations Committees, and others. We spent time in Israel, we spent time in Saudi Arabia and in Egypt. In Israel, we met with the families of American hostages. That was a very difficult time with those whose loved ones are still being held by Hamas. We met with senior leadership, Prime Minister Netanyahu, members of this war cabinet. We had a long meeting with the Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman in Riyadh and with President al-Sisi in Cairo. Our overarching objective was to stand firmly and strongly by our ally Israel to make sure they're getting everything they need to respond to this brutal attack by Hamas, to deter Iran by showing strong and bipartisan support, and to engage with our critical regional partners, and to emphasize that Hamas is like ISIS, an organization that should be driven from the region, that should be ended, and that deserves to be called out and the object of aggression by every civilized nation. What they've done is every bit as horrible as what ISIS was doing, and we need to mobilize a global coalition against Hamas.
Senator Thune, we saw some and heard some really compelling sound bites from that trip. Senator Bret from Alabama talking about watching these videos of seeing the actual attacks that you were shown there while over in Israel. Your overall thoughts, and then I want to ask some more things about the region.
Right, Bret, this is existential for Israel. And the videos that we saw, the images that we saw, just reinforced how important it is that not only the United States, but hopefully partners in the region and beyond band together and support Israel in its efforts to eliminate Hamas. Israel cannot exist side by side with a terrorist organization whose main mission is to kill Jews and to wipe Israel off the map. It's as simple as that. And you can understand why there is so much frustration and angst in the country right now. They see what's happening on their border. In the last 15 years, they've been attacked 5 times, but this time it has to be dealt with. And I hope that the United States will do everything that it can to stand with our ally and our friend Israel, ensure that they have everything they need to defend themselves, and to go after this vicious terrorist regime enabled by Iran and destroy it. That's what has to happen. And we also need to lay down some markers and some red lines with respect to Iran. We made that very clear as well.
Well, speaking of that, obviously the U.S. has a major presence now, another carrier strike group, the USS Eisenhower, heading into position there. Senator Coons, these attacks are Iran proxy groups that are attacking U.S. bases throughout the region. We talked to General Keane about this yesterday. Those attacks are going up. They haven't seen significant fatalities or injuries, but they are being attacked. And there is not a response. Should there be? And where do you think the message should be to Iran?
Yes, there needs to be pressure back against Iran, as has been said by the administration today. Although these attacks are mostly by proxies, by the Houthis, by Hezbollah, by militias in in Iraq and Syria, Iran is who is behind all of this. Iran funded, supplied, trained the fighters of Hamas and is behind these other proxies that are in the north of Israel, in the south of Lebanon, in Yemen, on the Arabian Peninsula, in Iraq. So we need to be striking back, and we need to be prepared for the very real prospect that this will get harder before it gets easier. Every leader we met with in Israel expressed gratitude for the visits of Secretary Austin, Secretary Blinken, and President Biden, and in particular that we have 2 carrier strike groups now immediately in the region. They have 80 jet fighters each. We've prepared for mobilizing thousands of troops if necessary. My view, Bret, is that those strong steps are going to effectively deter Iran, but this is a very difficult regional moment. And I think having a bipartisan delegation of senior senators helps strengthen the clarity with which we are going to push back on aggression by Iran through its proxies.
I appreciate that answer, but Senator Thune, there is this concern about getting drawn in to something that develops into World War III. And there is real doubt, if you ask Americans, that they want to get drawn in. They want to support Israel. They want to help them go after Hamas. But as far as attacking Iran, how do you balance that? How does that pushback look?
I think that's a good question, and we obviously need to be, as Israel needs to be, strategic about this, Bret, but not responding is not an option either. I mean, you have the animating force behind the evil in that region is Iran. They are, all these entities, these terrorist organizations are Iranian proxies, and Iran needs to understand that they cannot continue to engage with and support these terrorist activities in the region, and particularly now with their attacks on American troops. That is a whole new level of escalation, and the message is going to have to be sent. I mean, I don't think we can't afford not to act. Not acting is, in my view, is even worse long term for that region and for the world.
Yeah, Senator Coons, you mentioned the meeting with the Saudi Crown Prince, Mohammed bin Salman. Obviously, I traveled over there, had an interview with him, and then talked to Bibi Netanyahu, who was Israeli Prime Minister. And there was this sense that this normalization was very close. Perhaps, Hamas and Iran saw that as well, but it seemed that attack was months in the making. Is there a sense that they're going to have a role going forward in whatever this looks like after this Gaza mission happens?
Well, Bret, that's certainly my hope. I think it was the hope that animated this delegation of 10 senators was the possibility of a peaceful future where the Arab-Israeli conflict comes to an end. If Saudi were to recognize Israel, as Egypt did decades ago, and brought the rest of the Gulf kingdoms and emirates along with them, that would be a significant step forward. So I think we have two very clear and very starkly different paths forward. Hamas and Iran and the rest of its proxies want continued fighting. Hamas is using innocent Palestinians as human shields, and the suffering of so many Palestinians in Gaza is a direct result of the hostages that have been taken by Hamas, of the violence carried out by Hamas, and of the fact that they won't let folks leave the north of Gaza and go to the south. This is a future of violence and terrorism. The prospect of Saudi Arabia recognizing Israel and having an end to the Arab-Israeli conflict and significant investment in development and in a two-state solution for Palestine and Israel is the hopeful prospect.
Yeah.
What happens in the next few weeks and months is going to determine which path we're on. I completely understand and respect Israel's right to defend itself, its obligation to protect its citizens from Hamas's attack. But one of the things we discussed in the region was whether there is still a prospect for normalization that could bring peace to this very troubled region.
Yeah, and last thing quickly, Senator Thune, is MBS committed to doing that, even in this current environment?
He is, and your interview with him, I think you discovered too, Bret, that nobody in this region benefits when you've got terrorist organizations operating, and I think everybody realizes if there's going to be a more peaceful, stable future in that region of the world, that everybody has to be a part of the solution. And I think that they want normalization. I hope that that process can continue. Obviously, it's going to be slowed down, delayed for a little bit here. But in the end, an integrated Middle East where neighbors can live with each other in peace and security ought to be the ultimate goal. And I hope that can be achieved. But we have to deal with this terrorist threat on the border of Israel, or that entire region is going to be on fire.
Well, Senators Coons and Thune, thank you so much. We appreciate you coming on Common Ground.
Thanks, Bret.
Thank you.
You can see all the Common Ground segments on my podcast, Common Ground. You find that